what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I would like to talk about some of my favorite free apps for YouTubers, but not necessarily YouTubers, even just content creators, and this is just stuff that really comes in useful when you are making a lot of things, you know? And I just wanted to share some of them with you guys. Also, if you're looking for useful tools for content creation, I would stick until the end of the video because I actually mention a piece of software that is quite unique and that you might find really useful when you're looking for making custom-made infinite resolution elements for your videos. So the first thing I have is not actually a creative tool, but it is a utility that I have been using quite a lot and I really like it. It is called Notion. So what Notion is a little like notebook that you can link through your computer, through your phone, and just look at notes anywhere you want. It's a pretty basic tool. The free version doesn't allow you to attach any images or anything like that, but I just use it for the text purposes, and all of the pages that you can make are all laid out in this really nice way with this icon and then this background. Like, you can really customize it, and it's quite nice. For example, here I have a whole page for my YouTube and Twitch stuff, like, you know, what my next 5 videos are going to be, what my next 5 streams are going to be, ideas, so on, so on, so on. And I just like to kind of keep stuff in this kind of nice organized way. What I really like is that you can put notepads and like folders inside other folders just like this, but you can also insert like text or whatever. The next application is more of a utility rather than a tool for creation. It's called Everything. I'm going to blur this out because I don't necessarily want you guys to see all of my folders and stuff, but Everything is a tool that searches through your entire computer, but it does it really quickly. So for example, if you search here in Windows, let's say you're looking for something like here, like let's say I want to look for the .minecraft folder. It doesn't show up here. Like, I would have to go to documents, you know, and like it would have to search here for ages, whereas here I could just look up .minecraft and boom, there's my .minecraft folder for like whenever I want to edit my Minecraft files and add new versions and so on. The next one is actually a tool that a lot of YouTubers might find very useful, and it is a free editing tool called Kdenlive. Now, this might not be the best free video editing software out there, but it is just my favorite one and the one that I learned how to use. So when I first started off using this editing software, it was on my old laptop and it was quite slow, and all of the other free video editing softwares like DaVinci Resolve and HitFilm Express, they were available on the computer. It's just that they didn't run, so those programs just didn't run very well. But Kdenlive did. It's a very lightweight editing software, and you can do a lot with it. You can do anything you want, honestly. So if I pull up my last VOD and put it in here, it automatically lets you switch the profile, which is nice. It has a lot of tools, and the effects library is actually quite extensive. It's really beyond anything that you would expect from a free software like this. You can do things like even like rotoscoping in here. There's a rotoscoping plugin, and you can just add it and like rotoscope. It's awesome. It's so good. You just wouldn't expect a free software like this to have a feature like rotoscoping or anything like that. And it's got a bunch of other stuff. It's just so good. The only thing I wish that this software had was a ripple delete tool. Which is kind of a big thing. It just doesn't have a ripple delete tool, but it's open source and the developers are pretty active, so I can say with at least a little bit of confidence that maybe they'll implement that feature in the future. The next free piece of software that I would like to talk about is one of the best things for thumbnails that ever came out for YouTubers. It's called GIMP. You've probably heard of it before. It stands for GNU Image Manipulation Program. It's basically Photoshop, but a free version of it. Listen, it's not as good as Photoshop, obviously, but anything you can do in Photoshop, you can do in here, give or take, and a little more slowly than you would be able to in Photoshop. But if it's free software, and Photoshop is like, what, 20 quid a month, and this is really, really good. Another one that is a bit more lightweight that perhaps would be easier to use on lighter weight machines is paint.net. So Microsoft's Paint doesn't have layers or anything. For example, this does. You can add plugins to this. I would recommend the pyrochild plugin bundle, and also the align object plugin comes in really useful for when you want to center something on your canvas. So let's say I want to have a background here and put text on it. So I can use a gradient tool, which isn't available in Paint. I can change the colors and everything. It's I think it's your foreground color as the first color and your background color as the second color. Yeah, so this is a nice ugly background. Let's say I want to put text on it, add a new layer, pack of grass, make sure to subscribe, just kind of make it larger. Cool, and you can use the align object thing to center it if you have it. And yeah, it's just good. Like, yeah, it's just good. If you get the pyrochild effect bundle, you also get an equivalent thing to liquify. Oh yeah. So liquify is something that comes under the pyrochild bundle, and yeah, it's just basically the liquify menu. Like it's got all of the features you need. If you're on a budget and a CPU budget at the same time, Paint.net will run easier than GIMP, and it's pretty good as well. The next piece of software I would like to talk about is obviously OBS. It's so good, just get it. It's a free screen recording software. You don't have to buy anything, and you can get any kind of quality that you want from it. For when I'm recording, I just use my streaming encoder that I use for Twitch, but you can have your own custom recording encoding settings here. You can do lossless recording if you change the type here from standard to custom output FFmpeg. It's a different menu option, and then select UT video, and it'll if you change some settings there, you can do lossless recording on this as well. It's just really nice. I'm mentioning lossless recording because Fraps does lossless recording, and stuff like Bandicam I think as well, and DX Story if you ever used that. So if you want something equivalent to that inside OBS, then that's how you do it. But yeah, that's OBS. That's all I have to say about OBS. The last piece of software I would like to talk about is called Inkscape. It's a vector image piece of software, so it's equivalent to something like Adobe Illustrator, and it's free. So if you want to make like vector shapes, like let's say you want to make YouTube arrows or something by yourself, or face cam borders that you would like insert into Kdenlive and animate afterwards, you can do all of that here. The good thing about vector images, and why you would even care about this in the first place, is that they have an unlimited resolution. So they're basically, instead of using pixels to represent these images, mathematical equations are used. So that means if you create like a triangle here, for example, you zoom in, there's no pixels, so pretty much you can upscale this to whatever resolution you want. And this is also quite a good work environment for logos and stuff. A lot of logos are made in vector graphics, if you guys didn't know. So let's say you want to be a logo designer and you're on a budget, you can use Inkscape as well, you know? Like, what's stopping you? So yeah, that's all I have to say about Inkscape, and this is actually the end of my video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, it was just a little helpful thing that maybe like one or two of you will appreciate. I didn't really see any lists on YouTube of like just every piece of software that can come useful for a YouTuber, so I figured you might enjoy this video just as a little kind of quick thing you can watch. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave me a like. You can subscribe to my channel, but won't really be doing more content like this. I'll be doing other kind of stuff, but it's there if you want it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I have been Pack of Grass, and I will see you later. Goodbye.